Why hello there, it's me again. I am Morn, hi. If you have been following me for a long time, you will know that a couple years ago, last year I think actually, I made a video detailing my experience with the Kyriad Hotel in Paris. I put that video on my acting channel, I'm an actor, so I was going to transfer that video onto my personal channel where I have like home videos and stuff. You know what, like, that video is really shit. I'm sniffing the whole way through. I've very obviously got a cold in that video. I was umming and ahhing the whole time like I just did, playing with my glasses. I want to make this video a bit less chaotic, so let's start. So one thing about me is that I do believe in ghosts. I do believe in paranormal, but only recently. Before I never believed in ghosts. I don't know, you know, now in hindsight I think I was just pretending to myself. I had an experience a couple years ago, and ever since I've been believing in ghosts. And my experience has mostly been positive. There's been a few negative experiences. I went to, I was working at a pet shop in Guildford the other day and I was pushed over by something. I literally felt a hand on my back push me over. I was the only one in the shop. The shop was locked up because it was the end of the day. So unless I managed to do that to myself, I don't know. So that wasn't fun. But everything else has been quite positive and everything. So this one isn't positive. Not at all. When I was in year 10, I was a big fan of Disney. I really like Disney films, but you know, they're not the greatest of companies, so I'm not so much a fan of them anymore, but I do enjoy the movies. But back then, how old was I? I must have been 15. I was 15 and I was like really big on Disney. I knew all the songs off by heart. I could answer any question about Disney, and some people call me Disney freak, so that's fun. We got to go to Disneyland as a trip. In 2014, in year 8, we went to Disneyland, and there were 2 trips because lots of people wanted to go on a trip. So the first trip went from Monday to Wednesday and they stayed at a hotel called Kyriad. And then the second trip, they couldn't book the same hotel, and this was the trip that I was on. The Thursday to Saturday trip, and we went to Ibis Hotel. This happened and we went back to England. We asked some people who were on the first trip, like, was everything okay? And they said, yeah, fine. It was absolutely fine. And it was so fine that that's why they went to Kyriad again on the second trip in 2016, which is the one I'm about to talk about. The first trip to Disneyland was absolutely fine. Some shit happened. If you're a friend of mine, you probably know what that shit was. I'm not gonna really go around into it. So we went on the trip, and there was only one trip this year, or that year, sorry, and we went to the Kyriad Hotel. And we had a very long day. I don't know why, but it took us like 12 hours to get to Paris, even though it should have only taken us like 3, if that. No, it took more than 12 hours. We were at school from like 6 o'clock and we didn't get to the hotel until 11 at night. We were all very tired, and we finally got to the hotel at like 11:30 at night. And the first thing I noticed about the hotel was that it was very run down. Very run down. I remember the first thing I said when I saw the hotel was that it looked a lot like the Tower of Terror at Disneyland Paris. And that is very purposely like a rundown hotel, and that hotel is about like a paranormal experience as well, so parallels. We parked the coach up, then we were all given like our room keys. They decided to tell everyone like what room you're going to be in, like on the coach. So we all sat in the coach waiting to hear our names and be told what room we were in. The people in the lowest rooms went up first, and people in the highest rooms went up last, and The school managed to book almost all of the rooms on floor 3. The rest of the rooms were on floor 5, and there was only 3 rooms on floor 5, so the year 7s, year 8, year 9s, and the year 10 boys and the teachers were on floor 3, and then the year 10 girls, which was the group that I was in, because I was year 10 and I was a girl, we went to floor 5, and there were 9 of us, so that fit nicely. 3 rooms of 3. I remember the rooms we were in. So in room 23 was Alice, Lucy and Anna. In room 20 was Sophie, Lydia and Esther. And in room 21 was me, Emma and Emmy. And we were, I don't know why, we were the last people to be called up, even though like 21 comes before 23. But we were the last people on the coach, and it took a really long time to get everyone off the coach. So at this point it's like midnight, and we get our suitcases off the coach, we get the key, and then we were waiting for our lift, and then the teachers came along and were like, oh, do you want us to wait down here with you until your lift comes? And we were like, no, that's fine, you go up to your room. So they did, and then our lift finally opened and we went in. One thing about the lift is that normally most lifts have their numbers horizontally, so normally like in rows of 3, and it goes up like that. This lift, the buttons went up vertically, so we went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, alarm. Clicked number 5, and the only button that we could have pushed if we missed number 5 was number 4. I remember watching Emma click, push number 5. The lift's closed and it started moving, and we were really tired. We were just talking, and we had our suitcases in our hands, and we were really excited. We were going to Disneyland the next day, so we were really, really excited. So we weren't really paying attention to anything. Then the lift stopped, and the doors opened, and we began to step out. But before we stepped out, we realised that the room was pitch black. And I mean pitch black as in like not a single light anywhere. We couldn't see a thing. And we were really confused because we were like, yeah, it's quite late at night, it's midnight, but surely there would be lights on because, you know, people need to get to their rooms, they need to see where their rooms are. That's when we realised that we weren't on floor number 5. We were on floor -1. Yeah. Me and Emmy, we like grabbed each other and we screamed our fucking heads off. And one thing about me is I have like a weird irrational fear of like corridors and open doors and stairways and tunnels. I hate them. They just really freak me out. Like I really don't like it. This corridor was pitch black, and all I could see in my head was a creature, like a big scary dementor type thing, like crawling into the elevator and killing us. Love that for us. Thankfully that didn't happen, at least I don't think it did. It might have. I remember Emma is a very stoic person. She's fearless. I've never seen her scared before except for this moment. She was pounding on the button like number 5, and obviously the doors take like 20 seconds to open and close, and it felt like a lifetime. It truly felt like a lifetime. I was scared out of my mind. But the doors finally closed and we finally went up to floor 5 eventually. Sophie, Lydia and Esther were waiting for us at the top of floor 5, but they were waiting for us because we hadn't come up yet. And they were like, oh my god, what took you so long, are you okay? And we were like, yeah, we went to floor -1. And they were like, okay, was that you screaming then? And we were like, oh my god, you heard us screaming? We were 6 stories apart. They were on floor 5, we were on floor -1. They heard us scream. So I can only assume that the entire hotel heard us. So that's scary. So we went to our room, you know, we were still very freaked out by the whole thing. The next thing we noticed was that our room layout was very weird, because to get to our room, you know, like hotels, like all the rooms are like on the same corridor. To get to our room, we had to unlock another door. So it was like 21 and 22 were 2 rooms, obviously, but to get to those 2 rooms, we had to unlock another door. So we had 2 keys on our key ring, one to open the first door and then one to get into 21. So that meant basically that the only way to get into that little antechamber thing was if you were staying in room 21, room 22, or you were staff. Bear that in mind. So we went into our room. It was all fine. We were pretty scared. It took us a while to get to sleep, and we kept on like recounting the events and being very, very nervous about it all. I kept on waking up during the night because all I could hear was music all night long, and it sounded like it was coming from above us, even though we were on the top floor. And so I don't quite know why I could hear music above us, unless, you know, some of the staff are having a party in the attic. The lifts opening and closing all night long. We could hear them going down, coming back up, opening, closing, going down, coming back up. So that was very distracting. And it must have been around 3-4 o'clock in the morning where I was woken up and Emmy was awake as well. You know, we were just chatting to each other and we were like close to each other. We heard footsteps like coming down one of the corridors, and we were like, yeah, cool, whatever. But then we heard the door to the antechamber open, and so we were like, oh, room 22 must have finally arrived. We don't know who was in room 22, not part of our score. They didn't open another door. They opened the door to the antechamber, but then they never opened 22. We didn't hear anything after that, meaning that there was probably someone standing outside our door until we fell asleep, because we never heard them go away. And they never went into room 22, at least we never heard them. So that was fun. That was really fun, thinking that there was someone outside our door all night. Yeah. We woke up in the morning and we were very excited. We were going to Disneyland Paris. And we were getting ready, and Emma was awake first. So she got ready first and it was okay. And then Emmy got up and went to get ready in the bathroom. It was okay. Then I got up to get into the bathroom. And I was just, you know, I got dressed. I cleaned my teeth and I was doing my makeup in the mirror. And as I was doing my makeup, I heard a click behind me. And the thing about these bathroom doors was that they didn't really have a lock. It was one of those things where you press in. There's a little button on the doorknob that you press in, and the only way to unlock it is if you turn the handle. It could only lock from the inside, as most bathroom doors do. So I'm standing in the mirror and I heard a click behind me, and immediately I knew what that click was. I was like, oh my god, I've just been locked in the bathroom and I'm in the mirror. There's something else in the bathroom with me. So I was freaking out, and I was like, you know what, it's probably okay, it's probably fine. So I went up to the doorknob and I just turned it and it unlocked like it's designed to do, and I opened the door and then I was like, okay, everything's fine, so I closed it. As I was leaving the bathroom, Emma was like, why did you open the door halfway through? And I was like, oh, because I heard a click on the lock. I was locked in the bathroom and I didn't do it myself. And so we were like, okay, that's weird. Went downstairs to breakfast and we met up with our friends, and Esther came up to me and she was like, so you know you had that creepy experience last night? And I was like, yeah. She said, I had one as well. And I was like, oh, tell me about this. And she said, so basically there was a woman on the elevator with us, and I don't remember a woman getting into the lift with them on the ground floor, so this woman must have been on another floor and got on the lift with them. She said this woman was in the lift with us. When we got out of the lift and went to our room, she just stood there staring at me and just kept on staring at me until the doors closed. So I was like, okay, that's creepy, but it might have just been a woman who had no sense of boundaries. Keep that woman in mind though. So we went down to breakfast, and Lucy, Anna and Alice came up to me and they were like, oh my god, we heard about what happened to you. We had a paranormal experience as well. And I was like, oh my god, tell me what happened. And they were like, we were in our room, we were all sat on the beds and the bathroom door locked itself and we can't get into the bathroom anymore. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, the bathroom door is locked. It's locked from the inside. And so I was like, that's really weird, because the same thing happened to me, only I was inside the bathroom so I could actually unlock it. And so they were like, okay, that's really weird. We kind of like brushed it down, like we'd had a creepy experience. All three of us on floor number 5 had a weird experience. But we were going to Disneyland, so we went, we got in the coach and it was fine. We had a marvellous day. I'm pretty sure I saw a ghost on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride because I saw a little girl wearing a white dress and Minnie Mouse ears, blonde hair, really, really pale skin, not like ghostly white, but pale. No one else saw her, but I don't think she was supposed to be part of that ride. And she was sat on like the bars, the bars that like close to keep you locked in the seat. She was sat on top of them. That's fun. And I looked it up, I searched it up on the internet and I couldn't find any records of a little girl dying on that ride. But I don't know. We had a really good day, had a lot of fun, and I loved it. Went to bed the next day and everything was fine. Oh no, actually something did happen. I was in the shower, and the whole time I was in the shower I could just hear someone saying my name, like whispering my name over and over and over, and that freaked me out a lot. I love that for me, someone whispering my name. I ignored it. I was thought, you know what, I'm probably paranoid. We've had lots of creepy experiences, but it will be fine. So I left the bathroom, went to bed. And the same thing happened like that night. The elevator doors kept on opening and closing. We could hear music. Next morning we woke up. Everything was fine. Except that, I was still asleep and I didn't hear anything. I was just like, oh my god, can you stop humming to me? I was awake, but my eyes were still closed. So I turned to her and I was like, I'm not humming. And literally, I was looking at her dead in the eyes and we heard a humming. It obviously wasn't me. And then we realised that the humming was coming from the vents. But it wasn't like a distant humming, as if like it was in another room and we could hear it into our room. This humming was literally in our room. It was that loud. All just like, okay, that's really weird. There's a humming noise. We didn't like that. We didn't like that at all. We were all getting ready and this was like our second day at Disneyland. We were really excited again. We were going to the other park, the Disneyland Studios park. And we were getting ready and 2 of our friends who were year 10 boys, they were on floor 3, Josh and Alex, we told them to like come meet us in the morning so that they could like experience some of what we've experienced, because they didn't believe us. They didn't believe any of us, even though there was 3 different rooms and 9 different people with experiences, some experiences the same. I knocked on Esther, Sophie and Lydia's door and they opened the door, and as I was opening the door, the woman who was in the lift with Esther that first time, she came down from the corridor, from the other side of the floor. She came down, she walked down, she was like looking at us. It was the same woman. Esther said it was the same woman. I didn't see her the first time round, so I didn't know, but Esther was like, oh my god, that's her. And she went down the stairs. She didn't go down the elevator, she went down the stairs. And literally 5 seconds after she went through the door to the stairs, Josh and Alex came up. And we were like, oh my god, did you just see that woman? And they were like, what woman? And so we were just like, oh my god, like, this woman literally 2 seconds ago went down those stairs and you didn't pass her. And they were like, nope. So, don't know what that's about. So yeah, that's not fun. So yeah, we stayed at a haunted hotel. And we think that experience, it was very scary. It's one of the scariest experiences of my life. I'm sure scariest experiences of my friends' lives. Not going there again. Actually, no, I kind of want to go back, kind of just to see like what could happen if we went there again. Will we see that woman again? Who knows? So yeah, that's the experience. That's the remastering of the original video, which is complete shit. Even though in the old video, like, the door opened, didn't it? All the windows were closed and my bedroom door opened, and I'm pretty sure my bedroom door is still open right now because I have a little door stopper on it. That's our experience. I am not. Yeah, I love that for us. And I'm pretty sure if you take one look at me and my room right now, I mean I've got Rat Jesus, the film I made about paranormal experiences. Not about that one, but that's there. I've got The Exorcist. Yeah, I've got Skull and Crossbones there. I've got Angela Dean's Ghosts. So I'm very spooky, apparently. I really love that for me. I'm not doing myself any favours, am I?